Alrighty, probably the most unique piece of equipment that I have that most people don't actually use would be my fingernails. Way back a long time ago when I first started to play bass, I happened to read an article about Geddy Lee, who happened to be one of my favorite bass players as I was starting out, and still is. And I had read where he uses his fingernails to play and get that kind of pick-like sound out of his fingers. And I thought that was a really cool idea. So I tried to do that, and I tried to grow out my fingernails, and it was hopeless because they never really worked right, and they were a little too weak to be able to play like that. Of course, I read later that there's a reason that he's able to do it, so I had to find a different way, which was to actually use artificial nails. So a long time ago, I started putting these fake nails on these two fingers so that I could have that kind of a pick sound, but I could still play with my fingers. I tried once upon a time to play with a pick, but for some reason it just never felt natural to me. I couldn't get my wrist to go the right way. I always wanted to play like this. And that's where one of my biggest strengths as a bass player is in my right hand. For some reason, these fingers are really strong and can play really well and accurately, whereas this is a little bit more challenging for me, maybe because of the size of my hands. These fingers are really strong. And then having the nails on there makes them a tiny bit longer, and it makes, and they're super extra strong and gives that really cool attack sound that you get when you play with a pick. In later years, when I started to do more strumming, I added a thumbnail, which enabled me to strum across the top of my thumbnail. I was starting to wear my natural thumbnail down, which isn't exactly a pleasant thing to have happen. So I started to put an artificial nail on the thumb as well, so that now I've got three, and that gives me a really nice bright attack that not a lot of other people have, I guess, unless you play with a pick, but then you don't have the sound that you get when you're playing with your fingers. So that's probably the one thing that I think gives me the most unique sound, because you can get this same kind of sound using the same amplifiers and that kind of thing. You're using the same kind of bass and having it all at the same setting, but you got to have the nails in order to get that kind of a sound.